Oh shit.
Behind you. One down.
Fuck.
Reloading.
You probably don't recognize this game, and I can't blame you because this game hasn't really been announced yet. And don't be fooled by the graphics of this game. The graphics are the very last thing I'm worried about here. I'm actually very excited for this project. There have been plenty of extraction shooters being announced recently, but this one is a little bit different than most of those. While this is an extraction shooter, it's actually more like an arena shooter. It's not something like Escape from Tarkov or Cycle Frontier. This is Ascendant, and it just opened its store page on Steam a few days ago. And I've got to tell you, while the concept is quite different than what's available on the market today, the most impressive thing about this game is the way that they're developing it. The graphics might not be incredible right now, but that's because they are highly focused on refining the gameplay loop before they even begin to care about how the game looks, which is the right way to do things. They mentioned that they didn't want to have a game that looked really good just to find out that the gameplay loop sucks. So I really respect that approach, and honestly, already, I think they've done an incredible job with that gameplay loop because it was a ton of fun. It's got some great pacing, and they've got some really cool ideas to keep gamers pushing toward progression both inside and outside the combat zones. I was invited a few days ago to participate in a little playtest of this game so that they could show this game off a little bit, really get it announced and get it out there, and so far, I am really impressed with the plans that they have for this game. So that's what I'll be going over here. My name is TacD. If you're new to the channel and like unique games like this, hit the like button. And if you hate cool, unique games like this, then hit the dislike button because engagement is engagement. All right, so I'm going to break down this game a little bit because the ideas that they have are pretty cool, and I think it's going to make a great experience when the game gets here. Which, just to get this out of the way, the price of the game is not currently set, neither is a release date, though they are hosting play tests along the way of the development, even in the very early stages. They're sort of taking that dead drop approach, but, without the NFTs. So definitely wishlist this game to keep an eye on it. I'll have it linked down below, and I will also be following this game and getting into as many playtests as I can. But keep in mind, the game isn't coming for a while. So let me break down the game here. You start out in this lobby. This is more of like a social lobby. It's kind of like the Cycle Frontier in that way, but it's got a lot more going on. Speaking with the developer a little bit this morning, in the social sector here outside of the main game, there may be some things like some mini games where you can go up and maybe challenge some people to duels where everybody else in the lobby can actually sit there and watch you. Or there's a little Easter egg game of hide and seek somehow. I don't know how that's going to work, but those little things to promote some fun outside of the main game are pretty cool to me. This lobby area is also where you progress your character, you unlock weapons and upgrades, and you choose your loadout for the main extraction game. Here, like I said, you'll see other players, but you're also going to see the traders here. These traders offer you little side missions for a little extra reputation. Progressing these traders and extracting in the game will allow you to further acquire reputation with these traders, which will allow you to purchase and progress with weapon attachments and things like perks. These attachments can be placed on the weapon and prepared for a loadout, but the more upgrades, the more expensive the weapon will be during the round. Because you're actually not loading in with this weapon, this will be a created weapon that you have to purchase while you're playing the map. And you do this by earning in-session currency during the gameplay. You do, however, have perks that you load in with every game. And unfortunately, I didn't really get to try these out, so I don't know exactly what's there, but you can have these special abilities that will help you out during engagements. Just a way to change up combat a little bit. Now onto the main game. You load into the map here and there are several resources on the map that you need to gather. Gathering these resources and extracting is again what gets you more points for outside the map to progress along the way. But as you drop in, you've got a squad of 3 with a total of 4 teams on the map, so 12 players. You've got the external part of the map here where you can walk around the forest, find some secrets, or demolish some AI to get some in-session currency. Gathering these resources and this currency will prepare you for engagements, but also will allow you to purchase equipment, including your loadout weapons, at one of the shops. And just as a side note here, the AI here, they're pretty simple. They're not a major part of the game. They're mainly just for farming and getting equipment. They're not going to pose a real threat to you, especially if you're currently in a PvP battle, because they're actually going to flee from the scene if there's an engagement that occurs with another team while you're around these animals. These bunny snails aren't going to be the ones that kill you with a bite to your ankle. After you get loaded up with some armor and some currency, you head into the middle facility where you can buy your customized weapon and your armor, or healing, or anything else that you might need. What's interesting about the map, though, is that they're using what's called a procedurally generated unlocking system. So while this facility will be relatively the same every time, there will be certain areas that will be cut off, or blocked off, or closed, those are sort of all the same words, so you have to readjust your game plan from that. Say you want to get to one of the shops down below, you may find that that's blocked off and you may have to have another idea, call a quick audible to go somewhere else. Then once you're ready, you head to the resources and attempt to grab these resources, and then head to your extraction point. Once you grab these resources, everyone on the map gets a ping of your location. Kind of like the finals, you've got to extract by holding these resources at your exact location for a specific amount of time while the enemy team swoops in and tries to steal it from you. You cannot extract from the map without extracting these resources, and even if you are the first to extract the resources, you're encouraged to continue in the map in order to get more resources. Again, that's sort of like the finals, but with an extraction element involved and, of course, minimal destruction here. So per their phrasing on the Steam store, it's more like a capture the flag style of game mode with an extraction element, and that's because they wanted to promote more engagements there for a high level of action instead of just being able to sneak into the map, get what you need, and get out. Of course, when you do extract with the resources, you level up and can purchase more parts, yada yada yada. From what I saw, the weapons are pretty bare bone right now. The customization is all there, but they don't have a whole lot of selection, so I'm sure that that's going to change as the game progresses. Again, if you get into a playtest, you'll be able to see that. Okay, that may have been long-winded, but it's sort of a unique style that I needed to walk through because I only got a couple hours to play and I didn't fully understand it right away. I actually had to go back and talk to the devs, but I had a whole lot of fun while I was playing. Like I said though, what excites me the most is that they're doing this right. They've got the game in a very good state as far as foundation goes. They've got the weapon damage models ready, the ballistics are pretty much completed, so there's a very good base there. And it's also more of a movement shooter, so it's not a slow-paced style of game. You've got the ability to climb higher ledges and jump a bit further and slide. The system definitely needs work right now, but it honestly reminds me a lot of, I don't know, maybe Halo when I was playing that, or maybe some sort of Destiny. Maybe that's a better comparison, I'm not sure. It's not like you're flying around with anti-gravity, but the movements are going to be pretty fluid. There's no fall damage. It's going to be a lot of fun if you like that style of game. Definitely keep your eye on this one though, gamers, because I have a feeling this is going to be a hit. Also, for you competitive sweats, almost forgot to mention this, they're going to have ranked mode as well, so you can wager some reputation or something along those lines, and then you can compete against one another to, you know, get some gold medals or something. I don't know, I never get there. My biggest concern though that I have to say with this title is the team of three nature. There's got to be loads of communication in this game, much like the finals, and if you're going to stand a chance against every other team, you have got to have that communication. That's very hard to come by sometimes when you're just pairing up with some randoms, but there will also be VoIP, so hopefully that promotes that a little bit as well. And as you might have seen during this video, a ping system, which is always great for gameplay. All right, but that's all, gamers. What do you think? I know this is futuristic and it isn't everybody's cup of tea, but I personally had a lot of fun with it, even though I'm more of a tactical shooter style of guy. And you know what? I didn't even extract here because I am absolute garbage and brought my team down. But you know how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Subscribe for more stuff like this. And until the next one, be bold, be courageous, stay tactical.